Alright, inmendham video. It is not really about a subject, so we'll just call it a junk video because it's a lot of just website and some other kinds of issues. So first thing, I guess I will do a shout out or a point out to Ken the photographer guy, who's a Tesla nut and yeah, not very likable for that reason, but otherwise nice enough, crazy, I don't even know what you call him. I mean, he's just too intelligent for his own good, I guess, or something. I don't know. But he thinks he's smarter than everything in the universe. Well, anyway, that guy. Anyway, he's having a contest, and so you win a very nice strobe. So, you know, it's kind of a nice prize thing. So anyway, if you're going to do this macro photography thing, so you take a picture and, you know, something small, but you have to stick your hand or your finger in the picture somewhere. So I did some of that, and I have to pick one of these pictures. So I'm just letting you know, the contest ends midnight tomorrow. So I'll post links below. So the first link will be to his video doing the rules thing. That doesn't make much sense and doesn't say anything explicitly like one photo per person or something. It should say that a little more explicitly. I don't even know whether he has me blocked on both my accounts. I don't know if he'll accept my entry anyway, but whatever. I'm going to enter anyway. Try to. Anyway, I took some pictures with my fingers in it, so I might as well. But I just thought that I should do this, you know, when I'm done doing that, I will add pictures that don't have my fingers in them and do this photo thingy page where I will post photos of the stuff I take pictures of, you see. Yeah. And that should be reasonable. So what I would like from you people, as a possibility, is I have to choose a photo out of this group of not great photos to enter. And so if you mouse over the image, it will show on a little tiny status bar, you know, there's a number, and it's the 19, it's somewhere between 1900 and 2199 or whatever. I mean, it's the last four digits that are important, so it's, you know, just post the number of the last four digits of the photo. See, if you click on the photo, it does enlarge, and then you can just read it in the location bar there, see, 1965. That's a good year. But see, this photo's kind of, it's got too much movement over here, so I don't know, it's kind of lost as a quality shot. But anyway, you know, then you just hit the back button and it'll go back to the big pile of pictures. I like that. I like the big pile of picture thing. I think I'll do some big pile of picture things. I have to get rid of these horizontal lines. I forgot. I remember I figured out how to do that. There was some little piece of JavaScript you could use and it would compress those, but I don't remember what it is, so I have to do that, which is irritating. Or I could just put them all in divs, which I don't want to do, but anyway, keep it simple, stupid, as they say. So that's one bit of news. I guess the other stuff, I should get to the other stuff that has links. So I'm doing this. So anyway, the second link will be the link to this page where you can give me a suggestion of what you like as the best example of a macro photography thing with a finger in it. Anyway, our hand. Anyway, so the second link will be to this, and then the third link will be this RSS feed thing for iTunes. I really don't want to get an iTunes account and go through all this crap, so I was just wondering if somebody else could submit it, because I don't really want to do it. And so I'll post a link to the regular feed should work. So if anybody used the regular feed, it really should work. It works in my Firefox. See, there it is. Do not God, what the fuck, and there's the new episode. It's there. So it seems to work. So it should work in Androids and all that stuff. And, you know, the direct links anyway. I'm pretty sure they're all direct links now. Anyway, so this feed should work. But for iTunes, you have to have all these extra tags. And the funny thing is they point to a validating page at the W3C or whatever, And yeah, my regular feed validates fine, but when I add the iTunes tags, it doesn't validate anymore. So it doesn't really make sense for them to point you to a validator that doesn't validate their bogus tags. But anyway, the feed that has the iTunes tags, I'll put below as the fourth link, I guess. And I'm just curious whether it, it may not work in browsers, may not work as a regular RSS feed. And I'm just wondering if anybody had any knowledge of this. Like, Apple is stupid enough to break RSS feeds, XML feeds. It's basically saying we're going to break the concept and do it our own way, and it won't work anywhere else. So you can't use the same feed for iTunes that you would use for everything else. And that sounds kind of fucking stupid. But anyway, if somebody has an iTunes account and they want to try my feed, I'll post it as the fourth link. It's the one that has the iTunes stupid fucking tags in it that breaks the feed if I try to load it in my browser. Firefox doesn't like Apple tags, apparently. Anyway, okay, so that's the other thing. I don't think you can help with the computer. It's the weirdest problem, right? If it goes off, it won't restart unless I let it sit for a few hours unplugged. I have to really unplug the power supply so nothing goes to the motherboard. Yeah, it's just strange. It doesn't seem to be a heat issue. There's nothing hot. The CPU isn't hot. And now it blue screens sometimes now, and then won't restart after the blue screen. But it's like been running for 2 days, fine, no problem, but it'll just eventually just all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. And it doesn't, well anyway, so I got for 20 bucks I got another identical motherboard, so that's coming. So we'll see if that fixes it. But it is a weird problem. I mean, I've never run across that before where it crashes and then won't start, but then will start sometime later. Variable amount of time later. And it really just doesn't seem to have anything to do with heat, because on the really hot days it was fine, and and at night when it's cooler it blips out. I mean, it just doesn't mean, it just doesn't have any, seems nothing rational about it, logical. Obviously it's cause and effect. Obviously there is a reason. I just don't understand what it is. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Moving on. I mean, I'll find out, I guess, now, whether it's the power supply, which I don't think it could possibly be, because it just doesn't make any sense. Power supplies aren't that clever, realistically. Alright, speaking of not too clever things, Matt, that edible napalm guy, I heard him in Piro's room. And so Piro lost his job, which is actually kind of catastrophic, considering he just bought a house and blah blah blah, all this bullshit. And he starts talking about how he had to get drunk for the day because that stupid unseen perfidy guy, or Cardinal Virtues, or whatever the fuck he was, got caught basically extorting people for sex. And girls, I think, I don't know. He's basically gayish, kind of. Well, anyway, so this is one of those cases where somebody's an abuse victim. His father fucked him, apparently. And, for candy or something, I don't know. And this kind of person grows up somehow to become somebody who does exactly the same thing, in the sense that he will extort people into performing the way he wants them to with their sexuality. He will try to extort them out of their intimate stuff. It's, try to steal it from them, so to speak. And it is a weird psychology, because in many cases you have some kind of trauma, and it makes you more empathetic to traumaites. You gain an appreciation for how easy it is to trip and fall when you trip and fall, and your life is ruined and you're paralyzed and all this stuff, and you get, wow, I see now, I understand. So it's like even having a condition like my own is obviously not made me more judgmental of people with It's made me more understanding of how a simple thing in your brain can just click wrong and you're fucked. You know, your life is going to be tricky because you're going to have to do all kinds of weird, compulsive nonsense to get through your day. And, but, you know, there's a limit to my empathy because, you know, the people that are really wacky, yeah, I say, it's just too wacky. You should be able to say to yourself, I'm fucking crazy, and there's no realistic reason for me to indulge this fear I have because the fear is insane. Like people who think if they take a shower or something, they're going to drown. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. It's logically insane. Where my neuroses, I think, is rather rational. People make me nauseous and want to throw up, and so I avoid people because they make me nauseous and want to throw up. That makes sense to me. And they are throw up worthy, so that makes sense also. Because, you know, people suck. And they're stupid as shit. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. I mean, I once, you know, I've done very few Photoshop things to people, but I did actually dickhead him with my own dick, which was kind of funny. You know, the perfidy guy, and he turned out to be a dickhead. So see, I predicted the future once again. Very reliable at that, apparently. Sometimes, mostly. I mean, except that whole stock market thing. Yes, it's going to crash. I've just been a decade off. That's all. 12 years, maybe. Anyway, all right. So what else? Oh yeah, Pirro losing his job. I mean, holy shit. Yeah, it's just such a horrid market for work. I find anyway. So maybe you can find some kind of racket where, you know, I can help. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I'm Pirro is horribly tedious, but you know, that just sucks. But you could sort of see it coming. He just seems so arrogant. It's like, I guess it's just because he's so used to having this controllable environment. And, you know, because he was talking about how he was having personality conflicts with his management. And, you know, once you get on the wrong side of somebody who has more power than you, they always find some way to stick knives in you. So they will get rid of you. I mean, they will talk dirty behind your back into the management. Can't you get rid of that guy because he, you know, gives me a queasiness. He makes me uncomfortable. I think he has cooties. You know, they do things to kind of fuck you and kind of make it management say, oh, listen, I don't want to listen to this guy nag me, so it's easier to get rid of this guy. I can't really get rid of that guy because, you know, he has all the keys. And so I can get rid of this guy, though, the new guy. Yeah, so we'll get rid of this new guy. So, you know, once you piss somebody off, they will fuck you like that. Anyway, but, you know, it's bad. So what else? I think there was some other shit I had to complain about. I'm sure that, well, I really want to make a video on diet or something, because, you know, there's been all this ragging about this vegan stuff and about how, you know, this banana girl chick is somehow killing people with her diet advice, and this is just such crap. I mean, there's been all kinds of fad and fucked up diets out there. There's actually people advocating that you can eat air and survive. You know, that has calories. There's people who eat dirt. There's people who do all kinds of things as a diet. So the fact that somebody's diet advice is that everybody should never kill themselves for a diet. I mean, you can find out pretty quickly whether the diet's working or not. I mean, if you have constant diarrhea and are throwing up all the time, then I guess maybe it's not the diet for you. I mean, these people are such fucktards to be blaming somebody for giving them advice where they basically do say, hey, you don't have to listen to me. They say it in their videos. Hey, it's my opinion, fuckers. And these people still complain. And then they Photoshop them to boot. And you're just like, this is so lame. I mean, you know, this Darian Ryder guy is no whatever. He's not perfect. Neither is this banana chickie thing with her fake boobs selling her diets. But the point is they're not as bad as so many of the criminals out there who are actually contriving all their language and their words to manipulate people. I don't think they're doing anything insincere in making their arguments. And the fact that they're a little bit inaccurate or wrong now and then, well, gee. The fact that they don't have staff to fact check. I mean, Donald Trump has $10 billion and he can't get the truth right ever. So, come on. Cut me a break with this bullshit. These are not the villains of the universe. I don't agree with their whole, veganism is fun bullshit, because that's really not what it's about from my perspective, and it's really not, you're not really accomplishing very much in terms of cleaning up the mess on this fucking puke-covered planet. But regardless, it's positive for people to be more aware of it than less aware of it. And all this health crap is, it's nice, but I just mean that's really not the reason that means anything to be vegan. For your own selfishness, well, gee, that's really not the point. Selfishness is what's gotten us into this mess. Everything's selfish. You shitheads, you don't understand that? But anyway, so the diet thing is really, in my opinion, kind of simple, right? There's foods your body doesn't like. And it goes through fast. Your body says, I don't really want to deal with this shit. So it shits it. And then there's foods your body says, I really like this shit and I'm going to hold on to it because I can seep sugar out of it for a week. So carbohydrates your body wants to hold on to because it can leak sugar out of them forever. And they don't have all this toxic bacteria that grows in them and all this other stuff. Just a little bit of fungus and this and that and blah blah blah. Really simple for your system. But roughage has a bunch of little knives in it. That's what roughage is, really. It's a bunch of little fucking knives and darts and pointy things. And the reason why it goes through your body fast is because your body's saying, get this fucking shit out of these razor blades, the fuck out of this, nice, smooth, clean system. So roughage really isn't that good for you. If you can find some other way to get stuff to go through you fast, it's probably a good idea, because roughage is poking a bunch of holes in your goddamn intestines. And those holes mean that other shit can get in there, like some of the shit, and cause all kinds of little problems in the future. So roughage really isn't a great way to get stuff to go through you fast. So the real thing is this combination thing. You just want to avoid really dumb combinations like carbohydrates and fat. That's a real big mistake, because the carbohydrates will make your body keep the fat. Even though your body doesn't want the fat, it'll shoot the fat right out if you don't eat a bunch of carbohydrates with the fat. So if you don't mix fat and carbohydrates, you win. You don't mix carbohydrates and proteins, you'll win. So you'll kind of hold on to proteins sometimes. So proteins are right in the middle. Your body doesn't hate them, but it doesn't like them either, because it can't do much with them. I mean, even if it lets them sit in there for 2 weeks, some of those complex molecules won't break down. It's like peanut butter, Put it in your fingers. Try to wash it off your fingers. It doesn't even wash off. Your body doesn't like shit like that, because it means it has to really, really, really work on it, or it has to have a bunch of bacteria work on it from a long time to get what it really wants, which is the sugar. So your body really just wants sugar. So the point is, if you're a fruitarian or something, well, then you might end up eating 5,000 calories a day, but you're going to shit a lot, because there's a lot of roughage you're just going to slide through. Now, some fruits, like bananas, have less roughage, so your body will, it's okay. But if you're eating citrus with it and all this other stuff, well, that goes through quick, so it pushes everything through, and so you're okay. But that's really all this diet thing is really about. It's really how slow your metabolism is. And if you're gaining weight, it means you either need to speed up your metabolism or eat fewer calories. And it's not any more complicated than that. Right. Now, I can't afford the diet I want to eat, which is fruit. A lot of fruit. Half fruit, anyway. And so I eat a lot of carbohydrates. So, shit just doesn't, I don't shit much. So I don't have to eat many calories a day. 700, and I'm good. But it's not the diet I would eat if I could choose a diet without worrying about the expense of it. So I eat cheap, and that's not necessarily good, but the point is, keep it simple, stupid, and understand what your body's saying. When your body is shitting this stuff, it probably means it doesn't like it. it probably means it's not good for you. So even though they say roughage is good for you, it's really not good for you. And if you can find some other way to grease the system and get things to move through, all the better. Find the least rough roughage, and fruit is probably the best, because fruit roughage is at least not as bad as some raw vegetable roughage, which is really pointy. Carrots, for example, they have lots of little pointy things. It's just funny. It doesn't sound like a dangerous food, but it sort of is. Although it's good for you, it's not good for you. That's the catch. See, that's the biology's working a different way than your brain is, and the biology doesn't really care about the nutrients in the food. It cares about whether the nutrients have a bunch of razor blades in them. So anyway, I mean, theoretically, there's two thoughts here. There's two ways to think about it. Science doesn't really know the answer. If you work the system hard by eating a lot of calories, pushing everything through with roughage, that's supposed to be good. But there's this other theory that the less the system works, the less likely you are to get cancer. It's this whole antioxidant thing and blah, 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 blah. So it's almost like the least you work the system, the least likely you are to get a cancer. Who knows what the truth is. I'm sort of betting on the side that, yes, less work is better. So eat things that are as close to sugar as possible, and just make sure you get all your little vitamins and shit. Right. Eat as little as possible, and stuff that's as close to sugar as possible, so your system has to work the least hard. And that's, I think, probably the win. But that's just what I think. Me. Doesn't mean it's the truth. And they don't really have the truth yet. Nobody has the truth yet. Alright, so anyway. So there, I made that video. I wanted to make a better video, but it's a subject I don't really care. I don't want to get into it because people are just fanatically insane. So why even bother? I'm not writing a diet book. Fuck it. I'd rather you all die anyway. I just don't give a fuck. You're going to die anyway. It doesn't really matter. You might as well get it over with. See, this whole thing, this stupid, sorry, but Carrie McCarpet and this whole ragging about this stupid Jen thing. She brought up this person with cancer who wasn't really a vegan anyway. So it was just any old cancer victim. But she only became a vegan when she got cancer. I mean, And then somebody else ragged on the Banana Girl for actually implying that the veganism is a therapy for cancer. Because it is. There's lots of doctors that recommend going vegan when you have cancer because it will reverse or help put into remission your cancer. That's sort of an argument that's out there. She didn't make that up. So anyway, and so there's this whole plea for money to send her off to camp silly shit in Mexico to have coffee enemas and have urine poured on her tumors and all this other bullshit, and we're all supposed to say that's perfectly rational. And I don't think it's perfectly rational. She waited too long. She didn't get treatment. The treatment, by the time she wanted it, it was way too late, and it was time for hospice, and she didn't want to do hospice. Okay. But I don't, this whole idea that everybody's entitled to $100,000 worth of medical care, well, if you're going to do that, then you're all going to be poor, and none of you are going to have a house. So I just don't really understand the argument. Who's supposed to pay for everybody to have $100,000 worth of health care? Who's supposed to pay for that? These people advocating. Because this person wasn't anything exceptional, or there was no reason to think she's any better than all the other people dying of cancer right now that don't have independent wealth. So what's the rational argument here? And again, she wasn't some lifelong vegan. She didn't fight for the cause. So she doesn't get a freaking, well, she kind of demonstrated a commitment. She made an effort. She did something extra. No, she didn't do anything extra. She didn't do anything for the cause. And you're making her a poster child for what vegans should think is reasonable. Well, fuck that. I don't think that's reasonable at all. Now, the Durian Ryder guy, well, yeah, he was. I think he's we went way over the top to sit there and, you know, doubt the existence of the cancer, or that she stole the money or something. I just think it was a bad cause to throw 50 grand at a Mexican clinic. You know, I don't I just don't think that's brilliant to subsidize wacky, desperate lords kind of voodoo, because that's all it is. Taking advantage of desperate people with rubbish. Let's piss on tumors. It's retarded. Anyway. Okay. So I did that. So what else can I do? I think I'll do a comment, if I can find it. This one's really retarded. So this is this Ethel versus Vehement. So this is my argument against the people who want to just exterminate humans, like somehow that solves a problem and that's going to stop misery on planet Earth, which is completely idiotic. And I don't know, this asshole says, this is propaganda. Well, what's propaganda, asshole? If you're going to accuse somebody of propaganda, then you just point out where they lied somewhere. Some distortion, some exaggeration, jackass. It's that simple. So this is, you know, it's got cow heads here like that. Okay, yeah, that's not good. I'm arguing against that, and I'm arguing against mice being tortured by cats. We need to stop causing misery to us all. Exclamation point. Right? That's my argument, jackass. All means all the sentient beings need to have the right not to be forced to exist in a world where some cat is going to hunt them down and fuck them up royally, and then maybe just leave them for dead, half dead, because they're not even hungry. All animals, all living on the planet. Okay, we agree. Other animals are not the problem. Are you retarded? Crocodiles are a problem for the animals eaten by crocodiles. You don't understand that? You don't understand how lions are a problem for gazelles? You don't get it? You're too stupid? It's the same exact ignorance. The ignorance that has a lion killing a gazelle is he doesn't know he's hurting it. He doesn't know he's causing it suffering. And humans do the same thing. They just pretend. Cows don't feel nothing. They just go moo. They're too stupid to feel. Yeah, they just moo. They move slow and they just bubble. Blah, 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 I'm a cow, I'm drooling, blah, blah, blah. They don't think it feels anything. So it's ignorance, you jackass. The same ignorance the lion has. Now, humans have no excuse to be ignorant, and the lion has an excuse. That's it. They both suck. Period. And they know suffering like we have no idea. Well, knowing suffering and knowing that you're causing it are two different things, asshole. There's lots of people who know suffering personally, but they think everybody else is a robot and they don't feel anything. These nihilist types. That's what they believe, jackass. No understanding, no empathy. No comprehensible, meaningful gibberish in this comment. It is just shit. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know whose side you're on. This is just crap. You idiot. Don't post crap on my videos. Don't do that. So, really. Fuck you. Yeah, crap. Make an argument or shut the fuck up. Alright. Yeah, so took care of that. Yeah, love your channel. Love you, cutie. Yeah, I'm getting more chicks lately. My percentage of chick number went up by like a point. Yeah, so that's good. So it must be the summer thing. Yeah. It's still really a low number. 12% or something. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know if is there something else. Yeah, I'm doing these physics videos where I'm just gonna wipe the floor with these fucking cunts. This is physics is they're so full of shit. So I have started the PBS video that was crap, I might get to the tunneling one, but this stupid Brian Greene guy just pisses me off so much. He is such a fucking tool. I figured out who he's imitating, right? He must have watched a lot of Star Trek, because he talks just like Captain Kirk, and he has all these, mannerisms, and he's just so full of himself and such. And I mean, he's preposterous, the arrogant cunt. Anyway, but he's a stupid fuck. And I'll point that out. I just hate these people, redoing Einstein. Einstein was a bit of a fucking jackass. He was going to get, he was cheating on his wife, and his friends wanted, oh, let's save your marriage. And so they had him write a contract to his wife where he basically said, look, I'll be your husband, but I won't sleep with you, and I won't say hello to you, and I won't even give you a hug, and I don't give a fuck about our son, so don't nag me with that bullshit either. I'll just be your husband in spirit or something. And of course he said, fuck you, and he's going to sue him for divorce. And the only way he got out of it was he promised her the money from his Nobel Prize. The very thing that warbles on a lot, made this whole video saying I was excluded from possibility of winning because of. Einstein obviously was predicting his winning of the Nobel Prize before he won it, because he used the money from the prize to get a divorce from his wife, amicable one. So yeah, Einstein was no great human being. Pretty much just abandoned his son, which, is lame. You're gonna have a fucking kid, you take that shit seriously. You made a fucking consciousness. You made a conscious being. I mean, how the fuck can you be called Einstein and you can't figure out that means you're fucked, whether you hate your bitch wife or not? And your bitch wife seems like she was totally not a bitch. It seems like she sacrificed her career for your family. She lost out on all these opportunities to meet all these physicists that she seemed very passionate about. You're the one who sat on his ass for his whole fucking career. Sat on a bunch of papers that were bullshit anyway. Not that I'm ragging on Einstein, okay? I like Einstein. I'm just saying he wasn't no perfect human. Didn't have no super brain. Fuck. He was fucking... I mean, he obviously just made this shit up. Bent space-time. Made up rubbish. Relativity. Fuck you. There's absolute speeds. Oh, shit. Yeah, so much to correct on this planet. So anyway, that seems like enough to me. I'd like to make some philosophy videos or response videos or do something, but it's like there's absolutely nothing. I don't get anything back from these turds of the internet, right? I mean, I checked my screen name. There's no videos. They're not even putting my videos here. At least they used to put the what the fuck should be here, but they didn't even include that anymore. But there's nothing. I mean, I already mentioned this guy's video, but I mean nothing. It's really irritating. So there's nobody to talk to, so there's, it's hard. It's, I've already made all these arguments. I can't really improve on consumption, reproduction, addiction, parasitism. Crap. I mean, that's pretty good. I've said all this different shit and all these quotables. You don't want to just rehash stuff, and if I'm going to rehash it, I want to stir in something new and good. So, and it's also summer, and fuck it. Yeah, it's better things to do than rehash. And I got all this physics, and I want to paint, and I want to take pictures, and I want to do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I will be adding pictures. Once this contest is over, this picture site will have other pictures without my fingers in them. Because these are all, you have to have your finger in the picture, remember that. Your hand. So it does kind of spoil some good pictures. So I'll take some pictures without fingers and such. So anyway, but I like this is this is nice and simple. I like this. You can resize it and then just click the picture, use the back button. Simple enough. Blah blah blah. Anyway, that's enough. So till the next time and such, so forth and whatnot. So you could just post numbers below if there's a picture you think is the winner. You know, they're just not great pictures, but you know, I mean, nothing is totally outstanding. So there is a contest here of some kind. My pick is, you know, I sort of have a pick, but we'll see. See if anybody else has that as a pick. That'll tell me something. All right. Anyway, till next time and such.